this is driving people like me who do this crazy. What's going on here? Why all this stuff now?
As you said in the intro, Tony, the sport has outgrown the rules. We're just at a stage where the players need to be paid because of what they're bringing into the university. I was talking earlier with Brian, and without question, the rules cannot handle where the athletes are these days. They're just too high profile, and the NCAA, if it doesn't do anything, it's going to lose interest from the fans.
Well, I don't know if I necessarily believe it's going to lose interest from the fans, but the players are definitely disappointed in how the system is set up now. I mean, this is a billion-dollar industry, and the only people who aren't benefiting from it financially are the ones who are making those items that are flying off the shelves in campus stores. They're making those items a hot commodity, and yet they get nothing for that. And I don't want to hear anyone say, well, you get a free education. That's bull dookie. You don't get a free education. There's no coach walking through a high school arbitrarily handing out scholarships. You earn it.
All right, here's the question I've got. I'm going to start with you on this, BJ. Now, look, my thought is that, look, A.J. Green, he knew he wasn't supposed to sell that jersey. I understand. There is no level at which that's following the rules. He got $1,000. But I've heard you talk about this. You don't think there should have been any penalty for A.J.
Well, how do we know he knew he wasn't supposed to sell a jersey? I've never heard of that rule. We used to get a jersey at the end of each year, your jersey for you to keep. They didn't tell you what you could do with it or what you could not do with it. I gave mine to my mama. She wears them every now and then. My little brother has one. But I didn't know I wasn't supposed to sell it. Maybe they've disclosed that to these guys and pressed upon them not to do that, but I wasn't aware of that rule.
Well, Jason, you talk about paying the players, and now you know what the NCAA is going to say about this. They're going to say, look, Jason, we can't, because if we pay the football players, we have got to pay the women's volleyball team. If we pay the basketball players, then we got to pay the track and field guys, and we don't have enough money to do that.
It's very radical. The thought is just nobody can envision players getting paid, but when you look at how much money they're generating for the university, it's totally different from where you were 20 years ago on the sport. Coaches are now making $3, $4, $5 million a year. Everybody's benefiting except the people who are putting out the product. How can that possibly be right?
And we're not saying pay every player. No, not every player deserves to be paid. If your jersey's over there, got spider webs on it, no, you don't get a dime. If my jersey's flying off the rack, give me something. Set something aside.
Well, it's real interesting to me because what happens is when this stuff like this happens, man, the player just gets beat up. I mean, it's like, where's the loyalty? Where's the love? We showed you all this love, and now you screw up, and now you're not on the field. But I think, guys, I don't know what you think, but Jason, I'll start with you. It seems to me we've gotten to the point now where you talk about the money is so big, the players are saying, you know what? If I get caught, I get caught, but I ain't taking it anymore.
Reggie Bush, look at him. He got away scot-free. His family got hooked up. He won a Heisman. They won the title. Everything went great. And now 4 years later, who's getting punished? The new USC coach, the new USC players. Reggie Bush got away fine.
Well, I think that's definitely wrong that he got away scot-free. I know they're asking him to maybe possibly give the Heisman back, but they're not asking USC for any of that money that they generated with Reggie Bush on the football field. Now, if they're so self-righteous, give some of that money back. And they're not doing that, and they won't do that. But you're right. Reggie Bush, his family got taken care of. But those people that gave Reggie Bush that money had no affiliation, no association with the institution. That's why I think the penalty is just too harsh.
Well, what about my point that I did in the monologue, and it's this. It's this kind of stuff. I believe people have been talking about the big football schools pulling away from the NCAA, which has 8 million schools in it, and really forming their own organization where they can streamline the process, put an enforcement staff in, and have this stuff done on a more timely fashion. Jason, what about that? I think it's bound to happen.
Wouldn't that be perfect for America? A situation where you've got the 60 thriving college football schools that people will have interest in, that generate money, playing against each other. And you know what? The smaller ones that don't generate money, sorry, you're not happening. I mean, that's where we're going.
That sounds like a free enterprise to me, and that'll be a perfect minor league system for the NFL.